Hello. 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 Every Rush song.
Hello, Rush fan, and welcome to your next exciting episode of Every Rush Song, where by the end of this thing, we will have analyzed every Rush song. I'm here with my good buddies from way, way back. My good friend, in order of how they appear on my Zoom screen, up to the top left, Tim McComas. Say hi to Tim.
Hello, everybody out there in Lotus Land.
Ooh. I
Ooh.
like that.
I got that reference because I did my homework this week.
And that other sweet, sweet voice you hear is my good friend Jay.
Hello, good people.
Oh, yeah, bringing it down a level.
Leave it
So
to
what
me
we
to bring
wanted
it
to,
down.
so we decided to start the show kind of for everyone, and we're gonna start with mostly more popular songs. So we just kind of figured out our faves, and then after we get through these 10 or 12 more popular songs, then we're gonna start taking it album by album, and of course I'm saying more popular songs, and this one that we're starting today it may not be one of Rush's more popular songs, but it is the song that my good friend Jay elected that we should start with, and Tim and I were very excited about. Jay, which song are we going to start off with today?
Well, gentlemen, I have chosen
Wait, who
for
came in?
the song to start off today. We're going to do a farewell to Kings from A Farewell to Kings,
Boring.
released in September 1977.
Yeah.
Wow. Jay, it's your choice. So what was it about this song what drew you in to A Farewell to Kings?
Well, it's always the music first with me with Rush, and that's why I have to actually go back and study the lyrics because it's more about the music for me than anything. Which, as with all Rush songs, this one has music in it.
That's indicative of the deep analysis you can expect
That's right.
from
But
every Rush song.
I'm just gonna say what I got out of this song, what it said to me, and it may have said something different to you guys, but here's what it said to me as far as the lyrics are concerned. My question was, where's the moral compass and the powers that be? We pretty much follow the pretty people that tell us what we should do, how we should think and act and feel, like Shayne. And it makes me think not just of politics and politicians, but also of social media, the quote unquote influencers, and pretty much just the state of the world in general, in which being mean and cruel has just kind of become the norm. And so as a society, our opinions and actions are influenced basically by a 3-inch headline, rather than us reading the whole article or thinking for ourselves, and trying to putting things into context or anything like that, or God forbid, researching for ourselves and developing our own opinions.
What does that mean?
It's, forget the scientists and philosophers or even religion for that matter. It's easier to just let other people think for us and trust that they'll have our best interests in mind. And then the line from or the verse from the song, dressed in kingly guise, beating down the multitude and scoffing at the wise. Woe, can't we raise our eyes and make a start? Can't we find the minds to lead us closer to the heart? Interesting, because the
It's
next
kind of like a
song,
tease.
yes. But so basically, I think it opens up with something about when you look back at this time period or whatever. But basically, our descendants are going to look back in this time in history, and are they going to look at it as an example of what went wrong with the world? I mean, This song was written in 1977, and it holds true today, 43 years later. And if you ask me, and you didn't,
Oh, I
it
did.
all went to hell when Elvis died in 1977.
Ooh, it's as if they knew.
Interesting.
That's yeah. Because one of the things I was thinking is how it seemed like it could have been written today just as easily as in '76.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Or
Jay.
or
That was,
it could have been written in 1577,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
it could have been written in 77.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, you know.
So do you think it? Yeah,
Go
because
ahead,
one of the
Jay.
things I was wondering was what was going on in Canada at the time, and I would like to circle back to some of these songs and get kind of some historical context of what was going on socially at the time or politically at the time in the news when they wrote the songs, just because it seemed so timeless now. But
Well, there
for this
wasn't much
first
going
time
on
through,
in Canada. It's all about hockey.
yeah, who won the cup that year?
Who wore a cup that year? Just wondering.
What about you, Tim? What's some thoughts, general observations on a Farewell to Kings?
Well, I mean, to sum up what Jay said, which I completely agree with, um, um, King's bad, poor good. Um,
Poor good.
yeah, poor good. Um, I want to say that song, and only because you hear it before any of the other songs on the track, that sort of gave us our first little just Neil and Getty jam that ended up leading into other songs. Well, Cinderella Man, and then later on, uh, Free Will. You know, it's not like it's a solo. It's just a little drum bass jam.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounded like Sanford and Son, though.
It did sound like Sanford and Son, but that led us into Free Will. The do 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 do. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I love that Farewell to the King of Jam right there. I just love it.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's very,
There's the knee.
at the beginning to me, it's very Renaissance, and it makes me think of going to the Renaissance fair and dressing up
Well, that
and playing the
guitar.
part.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of. I guess is that the vinyl strings or not the steel string acoustic guitar? It gives it that
right.
Renaissance, medieval feel. I guess a lot of the lyrics kind of give it that medieval feel too.
Yeah, you know,
But
and Farewell to King, not just the song but the whole album. That's where they really started expanding the musical instruments being used.
yeah, yeah,
Neil bringing the orchestra bells, the chimes, the bar chimes, and Getty exploring more with the synthesizers came in on that album. And now, Jay, with all of the listening and studying that you've done, where was that album recorded?
No idea, Tim.
It was recorded in London, Jay.
Really? England?
Well,
Wait,
actually, I actually may be wrong on the city, but it was recorded in England.
is in
Cool.
yeah. Was it Scotland? Maybe we should look that up. I didn't think we.
It wasn't Scotland, for crying out loud.
But it was. But it was the first time they'd recorded outside of Toronto.
That's interesting. What
Yes.
what do we
Yep.
know? What was the reason they decided to record in merry old England?
it was mostly they wanted to go and try the British beer. And they just couldn't get it over in Canada at the time.
You can't fault them for that.
And they were a little tired of that weak Canadian beer.
Oh,
so they
okay.
said,
let's insult the
hey,
Canadians, Tim.
Like to apologize to
I
all our
love
Canadians.
the Canadians.
Wow, I love
I
Molson.
want to be Canadian, eh?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
I really do love Poontang, though. Is it?
Now, if I ask you again,
No, that's just wrong.
will you tell me the same, or will you have a different answer for that?
Isn't that the thing? That's the thing with gravy and the fries. I love that with the cheese curds, the Poontang. Love that.
No. Once again, Jerry.
Wow, that we derailed there. We derailed, but that's
Anyway.
okay.
Right.
We like having fun. Nowhere in any descriptions of every Rush song do we say we're not going to have fun. We may veer off the topic a little bit now and then because we are three guys who like to have fun. Just how it is.
Yeah.
Hope we can make you laugh now and then, and hope you take it in the spirit of ha laughter. I did read where they had recorded some of the bird sounds were actual bird sounds that they recorded outside, and I didn't read a lot into it because I didn't know if we'd take it in that direction, but they did some of the recordings outside, I guess in a courtyard outside that studio, which seemed pretty
a farm.
interesting. A what?
It was a farm.
The
They
farm?
were at a farm.
No, was it a country farm that no one knew about?
No, it was one of those city farms.
Okay.
Was it one of their uncles?
Oh, and the city farms.
Right. Yeah. It was
Geddy Lee's uncle.
before-
wasn't it?
right.
Or after the
Right.
motor law.
Yeah.
Well, it was before the motor law.
Okay.
And
okay. Good to
and it was
know.
in that city farm that they went ahead and recorded the sounds that you hear moving up a couple of albums at the beginning of the Camera Eye.
Okay.
know,
Gotcha.
Because they couldn't
Really?
go to New York or downtown Toronto to get that kind of recording.
But couldn't they?
They were at that city farm in England. City farm.
There ain't nothing like a city, farm.
You know, there are people who have chickens in the city and who grow vegetables in the city. And
We had neighbors across the street who had chickens.
in the
And-
city.
Yeah, no, yeah, in the city.
They milk cows in the city.
Well,
Okay,
the
now
chickens
I'm
didn't
making
milk
things-
cows. They're not. Their little feet are not strong enough
That would be
to
a-
get the
I've
teeth.
got, I've got a neighbor who's got a hot child in the city.
Oh,
Hot child in the city. Sorry,
Um,
that's not Rush. Sorry.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Or was it?
Oh, good question. You never saw them both together.
Right. And maybe
I-
Neil sold that. You never know.
Them or Cheap
never
Trick
know.
or Kiss. Well,
They were
'cause
never in the
it's-
same room at the same time. That's for sure.
It was a little confusing to me because I knew that Neil was into the Ayn Rand philosophy and books and all that at the time. And so it kind of seems like at the beginning, from the point of view of the Kings, I guess, where it's, hey, are y'all going to remember how great things were back when we were in charge? It's kind of what that first couple of lines says.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
after I thought about it more, when you look at some of the things the monarchs did, where they would build the castles and the monuments, and they'd spend loads and loads of money to build monuments to themselves, things that people would remember them by, versus now this kind of fake interest, pretending to be interest in the common people, and that's I kind of love that.
Right.
That
Go
line.
on.
We turn our gaze from the castles in the distance, talking about the big grand cathedrals and things they used to build, down to eyes cast down to the path of least resistance, just like taking the easy way out.
Well, yeah.
And, and maybe
Sorry.
Nice response, Jay. Nice.
I had more to say, but
don't feel
Well,
supported
yeah,
at
just see
all
this
right
everything
now.
You had more to say, but you decided to stop at yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then I was kind of ended up at the same opinion as Jay with just the fake politicians pretending to be something they're not. The scheming demons dressed like kings, pretending to be royalty, pretending to be holy and above and better than everyone else.
I mean, what does this line remind you of? That the hypocrites are slandering the sacred halls of truth. Well, it reminds me that I don't talk very well, but other than that,
I was kind of hoping our biggest of the three, biggest expert of the three of us, Tim, might tell us what he thinks about that
Tim,
line.
yeah, Tim, I'd love to hear what you think.
Well, I mean,
Ooh, we have put him on
I,
the spot, ladies and
I,
gentlemen. Watch him
I,
squirm.
What had happened was,
well, say guys, look, that's all history has ever been.
Go
okay, well, thank you for
on.
listening
Yes,
today.
yes. Well,
We hope you come back
I
next
thought
week.
I'd add a little bit more than Jay did with yeah. Um,
Well, thank you. That
Well,
was
I mean,
compared to
no,
mine. That was very
was.
well thought out. And
but
thank
but
you.
but it's
I
the
thought
way it's always been. It's the way it is now. It's the way it's always going to
It's
be.
the same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. And yeah,
Because the next line, for me hits home a little more about the ancient nobles showering their bitterness on youth.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was a kid, my parents talking
Get off my
about.
damn lawn.
Yeah, I remember how talking about how useless and out of control the younger generation was. Now, hardly go a week without someone talking about Gen Zs or millennials and how they don't like to work and they're spoiled and all of that. Do y'all remember that do you remember that when we were kids? Was anyone ever talking about how spoiled or lost or sensitive or whatever? I don't ever remember hearing anyone say that about us. And it could have just been the blissful cluelessness of being Gen X, or
No,
we don't care now, we didn't care then.
I think it's always said of the previous generation. The previous generations have always said that of the current generation. Maybe not to that extent. Maybe our generation was a little less crappy. I find that hard to believe. I mean,
Yeah.
every generation but whether you really think about it, I look back at our generation, then the generation before it was a lot. There was a lot better things about that generation than there was of ours. But when you think about things like racism and social justice and stuff like that, it gets better throughout the generations. Like we were nowhere near where we are now with our generation, and this generation is going to be surpassed by the next generation. But we all look back at the current generation thinking, well, they just don't know what they're doing, and we knew everything, but we didn't, and they didn't, and they won't.
But everyone in that scenario thinks that they do, but none of them really do. And I've worked, and I do now work with a lot of millennials and Gen Zs, and I have never, with my daughter, her friends, I have never seen any evidence that is true. They all work hard. They're varying levels of ambitious. I mean, most of them more ambitious than I ever was.
I think you've got spoiled kids, people
Sure.
in every generation, and it's a few of them, the ones that are bit popular out there on the social medias and the reality shows, the lazy ones, the spoiled ones. Those are the ones that are in the public limelight, living in the limelight.
Ooh,
na-na-na-na-na.
nice reference
And
to a Rush song.
that's people equate the entire generation to just a few bad examples of that generation. They think it's the whole generation, when in fact it's not. It's just a few bad apples that spoil the whole darn bushel.
Bunch.
Shell?
One bad
tree.
apple don't spoil a whole bunch, girl.
Thank
Oh,
you.
give me just one shot, and I won't give up on
All right.
that.
So what came first? I guess
The chicken.
it was the egg. The egg came first. Dinosaurs had eggs, so
That's true.
yeah, and then evolved into the chickens. Sorry, Tim.
That's a good
but
point.
But you're wrong. You're wrong on that. So don't even look at me like I'm insane, because I am. So then it's interesting. I don't remember seeing this very many times in music that I can think of. But then the end of this song, he references one of the other songs on the album. Can't we?
Yeah, that's what I
find
thought
loves?
was kind of funny.
Because when you read through the lyrics, Closer to the Heart could almost be a continuation of A Farewell to Kings.
It's funny you should mention that, because when
Yeah.
we do discuss Closer to the Heart, which is coming up at some point in the very near future, I kind of go off on that. I kind
Yeah.
of discuss
So
that.
I
I
mean,
think
in
you're
a
right.
way, he is basically talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it starts off with the men who hold high places, your political leaders, your kings, your
Oh wait,
local city.
what song are
leaders.
we talking about today?
I think
I know,
we're
but-
supposed to be talking about A Farewell to
But
Kings.
it's a
He's
continuation.
going
Of it.
to hate
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
I
but
hate all of y'all.
hold that thought, Tim, because I agree with
Yeah.
you. I agree with you.
Yes.
I think you should
No,
hold
no,
that
no.
thought.
I'm just saying I wasn't going to continue on.
But
No. But
let's-
I absolutely
don't
agree
let
with you. I think
go.
you're absolutely correct. In my opinion, which means nothing.
Oh, it means a lot
To me.
It carries so much weight. It carries more weight than a big weight.
I mean, I'm wearing a Billy
Carrying
Joel
thing.
shirt, for God's sake.
But
I mean,
yeah,
what do
there
I
was,
know?
There was a point that I was about to make, and then I thought, yeah, you know what? After
We
you said
should-
that, thought Closer to
right.
the Heart kind of brings it together, and then that other part
Yeah.
kind of, and something like to be honest, this
Okay,
is
you've
something that I
said
read
enough.
today, where A Farewell to Kings is the problem,
Hey, shh.
and Closer to the Heart we will talk about in a later episode
Yes.
of this new little podcast, this adorable little podcast show.
It's so weird that you would say that, because it's like you read my work, my studies.
Wait,
My-
is that
my
what
role.
you had written down?
Something to that effect, yeah.
All right, so we should probably say this. Jay and I have another podcast
Mm-hmm.
called Beer Thursday, and we've recorded. I mean, if you just count that show, there's going to be over 150 episodes by the time this every Rush song episode airs. And that doesn't count all the times we've hung out. So there might be times where it's a little scary how alike Jay and I are thinking. Tim, on the other hand, Tim's a wild card. He's a wild man. We don't know what's going on there.
I know.
Oh, shut up. No, shut up yourselves. I wasn't going to say bitch. I'm talking Black Lassie. Don't mess with her.
I don't know what just happened here.
That was the Cheech and Chong reference.
Was it?
Tim
From
might
their
be
great hit
the
song called Black Lassie.
Tim might be the second best well of 70s and 80s cultural references I've ever seen.
Who's the first?
It's not important right now.
He doesn't know.
Oh my God, he hates these cans.
Stay away from these cans. More cans.
Wait, what Rush song is that?
That was
Oh
off the.
Lord.
Was Steve Martin a Rush fan? I bet Steve Martin was a Rush fan. All right, well,
Well, he's still
I thought
alive,
that
so
was.
he could be a Rush fan.
I think we've done a respectful job. Respectful job of breaking down a Farewell to Kings.
Yes.
And I think we've kind of painted ourselves into the corner of discussing Closer to the Heart next. So,
Thank you.
dear precious Rush fan listening to this, listening to us analyze every Rush song, please subscribe so that you can catch the next episode. And please tell a friend, tell your Rush friends about this show, because they will love you for it.
And tell them to
Ding,
hurry up and
ding, ding,
listen
ding,
to
Yeah.
every
ding,
Rush
ding,
song.
ding, ding.
Hurry up and ooh, that might be Jay. I
What?
like that. That might be our closing. Hurry up and listen to every Rush song.
There we go.
All right.
I just said it just now. I came up with that.
I knew that we would make up these
Copyright.
things on the
Trademark.
spot. Trademark. Michael Scott,
Michael
2022. All right. Thank you for listening, and we will be back later.
Bye.
Right.
Wait, Tim, do the ending that you want to do. I think it's at the end of La Via Strangiato from Exit Stage Left.
Oh yeah. All right. We've had a good time so far on this one. We'd like to thank y'all very kindly. Goodbye.
Every Rush song.